What's going on? Welcome back to an episode of All the Mods 10, and today, hopefully, cross our fingers here, we can finish out modern industrialization. Last episode, we set up all this, and it's all automated with Super Factory Manager, so very nice, very clean, very compact. And now, we need to pick up where we left off. Last time, we had rubbers and lube automated. But yeah, so next thing here is just get capacitors and all this, and then really the end game for us for modern industrialization, for now at least, is to get these electronic circuits. That's what this entire fiasco started with, was us trying to get that. So let's see here, capacitors. We can go ahead and we have all the other components here to auto craft this. Rubber is being auto imported to the system, so as long as we have that, and if we go ahead and request one of these, we should be able to get one. We should be able to get one. It's the problem is that gold plate, like plates, are slow to make. So yeah, capacitor is there. We want to get whatever machine makes the plates. We want to upgrade that to the next tier as soon as possible. It is steel tier right now, but needs to be a little higher than that. So capacitors done. Resistors could be done. Go ahead and request, or not request that. Coal dust. Let's there's gotta be a way. Okay, so we can do it in crusher. We're gonna use a crusher because crushers are much faster than anything else. So we can go ahead and put this in our crafting recipe area, and then ultimate crushing factor, we can put that in there. And then we should be able to request a resistor. Go ahead and request that. The copper fine wire takes forever again. Has to go through the modern industrialization machines, and they are not known for speed. Okay, so we got resistors and another the R and LLC. We got the L in RLC last time. I don't know. So there's that. Now let's see what's next. Let's see what we can do about automating diodes. So diodes need electrum fine wire, which I assume comes from electric wire, and electrum plates. So we can already craft electrum on demand, right? So that just takes normal electrum, right? Yep. Okay, so we can get the electrum wire pretty easily, and the electrum fine wire as well. I'll go ahead and do that off camera. So now that we have that, the next part of the diode is to get steel plates, which we already have automated, I think, right? I'm pretty sure I put steel plates in there. Oh, I did not, which is fine. We'll just, it's pretty straightforward. And the next thing we need to get is a silicon plate. So to get silicon, would seem we're going to need some silicon dust. That seems to be the way to get it. To get silicon dust, you need a macerator. That's not going to work. A EBF, Cooper nickel tier. Jesus. Quartz dust and coke. Coke dust is used somewhere else. Shit. Or we could electrolyze emerald dust. And I think I like that a little bit more because let's see, can we get an electrolyzer actually? Magnetic for nickel takes a polarizer. A polarizer, we need inductors, tin wire, tin casing, basic machine hole, which takes analog circuit. Damn it. Okay. Can't do that yet. Or actually we can. We have all the materials needed to craft the analog circuits. We can go ahead and actually make our first circuit here. So the analog circuit, we have pretty much everything on AutoCraft except for this analog circuit board, which we know how to craft. We have everything, we can craft it easily. So we're gonna just throw this in here. And then we should be able to request an analog circuit next. And then the machines will take a little bit because they're, modern industrialization machines. And there we go. We have our analog circuits. So now we have one of the circuits that we need automated and on request. I should probably set it to so the system just makes them, so we have like a certain amount in the system at all times. But I'll wait till I get everything else ready, because if I do it now, it'll just hog up machines for a little bit, and I don't want to do that. This basic machine hole is then almost, pretty much almost ready. We just need tin cable, which is very easy. Huh. Uh-huh. So synthetic rubber, that's 3. Again, that's kind of a waste of rubber in a way, but I don't think it's used for anything else other than making cables and some capacitors. I don't think we need conveyors. I haven't used this mod, so maybe I'm wrong. Um, yeah, I think that's only used for rubber. So we have rubber being continuously made. Yeah, yeah, we'll just use rubber. Not that big of a deal. So now we can go ahead and request 10 cables. Let's go ahead and make 20 of them. I don't know how many we're going to need. But the cables seem to be used quite a bit. And then the basic machine hole is pretty much done. We just need to make these redstone batteries, which seem kind of a little bit more difficult to make as opposed to everything else. So we need a lot of battery alloy material, it seems. We're going to need both of those. And we're going to need a lot of battery alloy plates, it would seem. So to make the battery alloy ingots, battery alloy dust. That's mixing lead dust and antimony dust. Antimony, I'm pretty sure antimony. We have a lot. Got a lot of antimony. That's not a problem. And lead also have quite a bit of. So also not a problem. Let's see if there's easier way to make antimony dust. Is it the alloy smelter? That's what we want. Oh, we don't even need to do this. So we can just put in the ingots themselves into an alloy smelter. I would rather do that than like burn them, like macerate them and then put them in and then smelt it. Let's see. Invar plates. Can I make Invar? If I research Invar, no, I can't make it, but Invar is pretty easy. Invar is only, yeah, so it's got, wait, is there a way I can just make the ingot straight up? Make it through there. Alloy smelter again. I can't make it in the alloy smelter from Ender.io. It's weird. Uh-huh. So I gotta mix the dust together, it would seem. Iron and nickel dust, which is fine. So I'll get all that automated and come back because at this point, it's pretty straightforward. If you're this far into modern industrialization and the pack, this is very basic. I will say our plate recipes are starting to pile up, and this thing is not fast enough to handle all of them. So I'll have to figure that out at some point. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, a lot of them have metal rolling recipes, and this is much faster actually. So we might end up switching to it at some point, to be fair. Ooh, a cartman can give it to us for a trade too. Or is that that's his block, I think. Last thing we need to automate is the bronze rotor. And that's gonna take a bolt, blade, and ring. Bolts. Do I want to do this? How much lubricant do we have? Wait, actually, yeah, we can do this easily. I forgot I have one of the machines that's ready for lubricant at all times. So go ahead and yeah, cutting machine. Wait, no, wait. Don't do the lubricant. It's auto supplied at all times. Yeah, so bronze, rod, just boom, boom. Do this. Oh, shit, damn it. Do this, or to that. Put that back. Our bolt done. Our blade needs to be crafted like so. Then our curved plates need to be crafted like so in a bending machine. Ring gets crafted like that. Okay, that should be good. I didn't realize I had so many bronze rotors. We'd also trade for them, so there's no reason for me to make all that. Now that I think about it, so I'm not even gonna try to craft it. That was just a waste of time. But now that we have our alloy smelter, well, not to have it, we're gonna request to craft one. It'll take a little bit for everything to finish. And here's our steel alloy smelting machine. I'm gonna go ahead and add it to our network here. But how do I want to add it? We need it for the alloy ingots, right? And I make it. How do I make this again? We need the dust. Why do I have this? Oh, right, because we can automatically just make this from the ingots themselves. Now I remember. We should be able to encode this, and then I already added the thing to our wall of machines. Go ahead and put the thing in there, and then if I request some battery alloy, like, I don't know, let's say 100. Yep, should fill up with everything we need, and it'll start crafting over time. So now I just need to turn that battery alloy into plates and curved plates, which means we should be able to encode one of these batteries, put it in, and now we should be able to request a battery. Go and request like 4 of those. And then once it's done, gotta bend all this stuff. It'll take a while. And now all that's crafted, we should be able to request a machine hole. And then they'll craft whatever it needs to craft. We need to. I'm just gonna stock a whole bunch of steel plates because they're used quite a bit, and I don't feel like waiting for all of those to craft. So I'll just make an iron hammer and just we have steel for years, so doesn't really hurt. There we go. And now we have a basic machine hole. Very nice, which means we should be able to get the polarizer. Go ahead and request all of that. And voila, 1 polarizer. 1 recipe plus 2 to rule them all. Which now means we can make our polarized or magnetic copper nickel wire. And this seems like it'll be the first machine that doesn't require steam. So if I'm right, this should just be able to get placed down like, I don't even know. I'll place it down over here, I guess. And yeah, it doesn't require power or steam. It just requires power, which is very nice. So I'll put that down there. And I'll hook it up to the SFM network somehow, and it'll work magically. I seem to have run into a little problem here. Not necessarily a problem per se, but with Super Factory Manager, it seems it won't allow me to input forge energy directly. Like if I filled it up with energy because I put a power gate on it, and that seemed to work. But I can't, for some reason, I can't take power out of here and put like for extracting power. Let me show you. Down at the bottom here, inputting forge energy from the power supply, the south side, which is this way, and that's set to output. So it's output right facing the factory manager. This is the factory manager, so again, facing this way is south. And for some reason, it's just not working. That's because I haven't pulled the son of a. Dude, the amount of times I forget labels is insane. Never forget your labels, people. That was probably the problem. And I fixed my issue because I forgot to set the labels. So yeah, now I broke it and replaced it, so it had no power. Now it has power. Good news. Great news, actually. So now we should be able to request this stuff. Copper nickel wire. I can't say stuff right now. Comes from plates, which comes from the ingots, which comes from the alloy smelter. Hello. That and nickel. Very good, very good, very nice. And we'll just do that. And then we also need the plates. And then we also need the wire. Thank you. And then we should probably also be able to do this. Awesome. So let's see if we can go ahead and request this stuff. It'll take a little bit, but I'll just make 10 for now just because. And then we'll see if it works. And as expected, because I'm a genius, it does work. We're also going to need some aluminum rods, which shouldn't be too hard. Yep, it's just aluminum ingot and the cutting machine. And we have lots of aluminum, or we should. Yeah, we got a lot of that, so it's fine. So the only thing left to get for the electrolyzer, which I don't even remember why we need it in the first place, I'm just so lost at this point, is we have this done. The diode, I think we need for silicon, right? Silicon or not. Silicon dust. This is why we, now I remember why we need it. We needed the electrolyzer so we could get silicon. Right. Which means we need this electronic circuits, which brings us back to where we were in the first place. So we have these done. What about transistors? What do these need? Silicon. So I'm missing some kind of step here to get silicon dust. And it might just be the EBF we have to make. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Electronic blast furnace. Yeah, we're gonna have to go the EBF route. We can make this though pretty easily, so not that big of a deal. Now that we have our electronic blast furnace, all we need is the Cooper nickel coils, and these are just the cables of it. And then to make the cables is pretty much what you'd expect. So we should be able to just request these already. Put that in our crafter. And then we should be able to just request those, but I'm not sure how many we're going to need, so I'm going to go ahead and encode that pattern. And we should be able to request... So actually, let's see. Is there... How many do we need? So we need 17 heat-proof casing and 16 coils. So Cooper coils, we need 16 of these. Go ahead and start that craft, and then the heat casings. Let's see how hard these are. Easy. We know how to make all of it. This shit is slow. It is so painfully slow. Okay, everything is finally finished crafting. And now we should be able to place this down somewhere. Grab the... Oh, never mind. It wasn't done crafting. Now it's done crafting. Grab our wrench here and see what we need. Seems pretty straightforward. So the number of Cooper-nickel coils you need is just wrong, I think. Unless the insides... Maybe it's not. Never mind. It was right. So we need inputs, not inputs, but put our item output hatch and item input hatch in here. There we go. Also gonna need an energy hatch because it doesn't take steam. So I'm trying to think here. What do we want to do? And I don't know. I'm not sure what 32EU tick is, like what level that is. Looks like we don't have a choice. We'll have to use LV anyway because we don't have all this stuff yet, and I'm sure it'll take machines that we need LV input hatches to make. So LV it is. So here's input hatch, pretty easy to make. It's just a basic machine hole and tin cable. Go ahead, take that, and I'll put it right here. Oh, not right there. Not there. Right there. Very nice. And then to automate it, I got a little tunnel coming down here with inventory cables from SFM and a pattern provider for our input hatch. So, well, we don't have one yet, but we take our pattern provider, hook it up here. It should output to this machine, to this input hatch here, and then it'll make it. And then we can go ahead, not close that up. Look kind of close. Do something like that. And then now we can close this up and just add on to the program to automate this. And then we can just go ahead and label these with my new things that I made. Machine. The only bad thing about having a thing this big is I gotta scroll to find the labels I'm looking for. Push them. Now this bad boy should be full of power. Nice. And then I actually need to leave this open for a second. So, because now we need to make silicon dust. To make that, we'll need quartz dust and some... Actually, I think I won't automate this just yet because we don't have carbon dust. And to make carbon dust, you have to centrifuge, I think. Yeah, so you have to centrifuge... Somewhere around this. Yeah, centrifuge coal dust. And to make a centrifuge, you need this other stuff, which I don't think we can make yet. Yeah, no, we can't make this stuff yet, so we can't do that yet. So we just have to use coke dust, in which we don't have. I just have to like pull it out because we do have extra. Like we are making a surplus here, slowly but steadily, or slowly but surely. We are making a surplus out of this. So I'm just gonna go ahead and grab some of this and look at the silicon dust we Quartz dust. Got it. So unfortunately, this is the first piece of the puzzle that I've not been able to automate just yet, but we will be able to soon. I'll go ahead and put both of those there. It should say active and then efficiency 0 out of 64. Essentially what that means, from what I understand, is the more consecutive recipes that you make in a row. Like if I want to make, right now we're making a silicon dust. If I were to make 64 crafts of this, each time I make a craft, the efficiency goes up by 1, like you just saw there. So it gets faster and faster. So ideally what you want is one machine per recipe, and that would make it so you have a lot of machines, which I guess is the thought process behind it. I'm not sure. But like, as soon as I try to craft something in here that's not silicon dust, the efficiency will reset. So, you know, not, I don't know how I feel about that, but it is what it is. And then if I check our system here, we should have silicon dust. Very nice. Very nice. Which means we can now make the diodes and cross those off our list. And if all is right in the world, I should be able to request some of these. They'll craft us a couple. Because more than one per craft. I think it's... Oh, never mind. It is one per craft. I lied. And it worked flawlessly as expected, because I'm a flawless Minecraft player. And since we got the silicon, we can also cross these transistors off our list as well. Boom. It's also worth noting that as your efficiency goes up, your energy consumption goes up along with it. Just to be expected, but also just want to call it out. It's not, you don't get more efficiency for free. Next up on the list is this electronic circuit board. We can pretty much craft it. Aluminum plates will be easy enough. And then the electrum cables also easy enough. There we go. We can craft these now. So we can go ahead and cross that off the list. And I think last but not least is the electronic circuit, which we should be able to craft now, actually. I'll have all that and cross it off the list, baby. And it'll take a little bit to craft. Go ahead and start all those. We're missing electrum dust. What do I need electrum dust for? Electrum dust? I don't think. So to make the electrum ingots, we need... Oh, I do need the dust. Whoopsie. So to make the dust, I'm not using the macerator or any more modern industrialization. We'll just crush these, combine them, and smelt them. We'll request 10 of these. I know it's going to take about 7 years. We need more silicon dust. And can't do anything about that because this thing is running at the pace of a fucking snail. Looks like we have enough now to go ahead and request it. So I'll let it do its thing. Very nice. Very nice. It's almost done. And one more second, maybe. These machines are so slow. There we go. Electronic circuits. And that is the whole reason we got into modern industrialization. Because we need to be able to make this machine circuitry, which requires electronic circuits. And now we can. So now what we need to do is have these being made at all times. And to do that, we are going to need an electrolyzer. Just so we can get the whatchamacallit, the plating that we were waiting on that comes out of here. We're at max efficiency now, but we're about to lose it here. So yeah, we just lost it, I think. So that's fine. I don't really care at this point. So we're gonna set up something so we can be constantly making these because I don't want to be waiting on them when I do need them because they'll be taking way too long to craft. Which means we need to learn how to make the large pump, and the large pump looks kind of hard to make actually. So the pump comes from tin rotors and motors. Motors we have access to, and I don't mind trading for this stuff just because we aren't going to be using it a lot. So the large pump, we can do that. The large motor we can do. Yeah, we can do pretty much all of it. So if we should be able to craft a large motor right away, which is nice. That takes care of that. Put that there. And then we actually need some more quartz. Um, while we wait. God, I can't wait to automate this. um, so now we just need, let's see, can I request two? We can request two, that's nice. So while that happens, we'll get aluminum rotors. I never saw aluminum rotors in one of the trades. But we will need 3 pumps, and each pump, each, no, wait, we'll need one large pump, which means 3 pumps, which means uh 9 rotors and 6 bolts, which is pretty straightforward. We should be able to craft the large pump now. Very nice. Which means, God bless, I gotta make another. These things take so long to make. Can't wait to just have them requesting. Like, these things take so long to make. I could ask for like 5 of these ultimate induction things, and it would be much faster. We now have the materials for a electrolyzer. Got what plants crave. Electrolytes? I'm confused. If we go ahead here, just do this, do that, and it just takes, love of God, just take power. I'll hook it up and see what happens. And actually, I was just playing about the using the EBF. We can actually just toss that shit in the trash now, because now we can get a lot more in 20 seconds. We can get 6 in 20 seconds instead of 2. So I'm for sure going to be using this way, and we can get it using emerald dust. And if you remember earlier, we got some emeralds. We only have a few, though. Not too many. Time to edit our program once more. This bad boy's getting thick. Turn those line numbers on. And here we go. Now it's up and running. I'll kind of explain to you guys what I did so I don't like leave you guys completely in the dark here. Is we have emerald dust being imported from the ME system. So if we come back here, I set this label. I pull this out, it gets a little crazy at this point. We've done a lot of labeling, but right here, you can kind of see it. It says emerald dust supply. So here is where we're importing all of the emerald dust from our ME system. And we're just exporting emerald dust and giving it a crafting card as well. Those things will always be full with emerald dust. And then from there, we're pulling it out of there and using SFM to import it into this machine here. It's being labeled as the electrolyzer for silicon and also an electric machine. So it should get, it'll get powered, and then it'll pull everything out of it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I accidentally labeled it as a normal machine first instead of electric machine. That's why it has steam. Steam you don't need for this recipe, and it just does nothing. It'll just sit there for a while. I might get rid of it if it annoys me, but it's fine. And yeah, now we have silicon being made at all times, and it's not going to take that ridiculously long, EBF way. So this is actually much faster. We get much more. It's much better. And this basically means that we go ahead and make another electronic circuit recipe. And this time come down to our quantum crafter. Put it in here, and let's say I want to have like 100 on hand at all times. I don't know how many we'll need per se, but 100 on hand at all times sounds pretty fair to me. I need to turn that on. So now we should, it'll start requesting it at some points. And it'll go ahead and request its thing, and then we should at some point start getting more. I don't know why it's not requesting the craft. You're online. I want you to have 100 all times. I don't know what's going on. I think it might be because I need to put it in the requester. Because I think it just needs to have what it needs. Everything it needs to have everything it needs in the ME system. Like for example, this crafting pattern for this, I have everything we need getting imported into the system. So I think it's just a matter of putting this in here. Okay, I don't know why you're being the way you're being. Why are you being so difficult? Yeah. Well, how many circuits do we have in the system? None. Go ahead and just make one. Okay, so now I guess now we put it in my inventory. Now I can go ahead and put it in here, and then since the entire purpose of what do you call it? Our modern industrialization setup, the purpose of its life right now is to make these circuits. I'm gonna go ahead and have it stock 1,000. We don't need that setup at all for anything else anymore, really. For now, at least, because for the ATM star, if you come look at this page, you need it for like a large advanced motor, and this takes processing units, which takes digital circuits, which take 4 of these per circuit. So it will get expensive at some points. But for now, I'll just have them crafty in the background. Probably for yeah, I say 1,000's probably fine, and we'll just go do a lot of other stuff because you gotta get pretty far into modern industrialization later for the Ultimate Star. But I think I will take a break after this and really just do other stuff. So we're just go ahead and set this to 1,000. Let's do batch size in not stacks. I almost want to do a batch size of 1. Fuck it. We'll do batches of stacks at a time. And I don't missing ingredients. System requires ingredients to craft. What? What you mean, big dog? So it's missing ingredients? For what? We just haven't produced enough silicon. It is going over time, so we can't do set sizes of 64. We probably have to end up doing just 1 at a time because our silicon production won't be able to keep up. And I'd rather just keep crafting while we wait for silicon to build up, and then later I'll come back and change it if I need to. Now it seems like as good of a time as any to go ahead and call the episode quits. And hope you guys enjoyed. It's kind of crazy with Super Factory Manager. I'll say it again, and I'll keep saying it every time I get a chance to. This is one of my new favorite mods ever. We've automated everything from going from absolutely no what do you call it, modern industrialization to completely automating electronic circuits and having them crafting for us at all times in just pretty much just this corner right here. Ignore the EBF. Everything else though is all right here. All of it. Not mean to screenshot that, but hey, might as well keep it for later. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. If you have questions, leave them in the comments. The usual. See y'all.